Welcome to Fox News Live. I'm Alicia Cunha in New York. Chaos erupting in Los Angeles as immigration protesters clash with a federalized California National Guard and the Los Angeles Police Department for a third straight day. At this hour, we've seen bottles and rocks thrown by protesters and highways blocked, and smoke bombs and flashbangs have been used to disperse the crowds. You're looking at a live picture there from downtown Los Angeles right now. And as we watch things continue to unfold that we've been watching for a number of hours today, we will now be joined by phone by former D.C. police detective, defense attorney, and Fox News contributor, Ted Williams. Ted, glad to have you back. I want to pick up on what we were talking about 15 minutes ago or so. We have some time now because the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, held a news conference to give an update on the chaos that's unfolding that we're watching there on our screens. And in that time, she took a moment to say that the chaos that we are seeing has been caused by the Trump administration's decision to send in the National Guard.
First of all, let me just talk about this real quick. The reason why I'm showing this video is because in 2025, California is the prominent tech hub in this country, right? And just to see how much chaos it's experiencing is insane to me. I mean, it is crazy that this much chaos is going on in LA. But again, California is still the prominent tech hub of this country. And this is crazy that it's happening in California. Insane.
Your thoughts?
Well, you know, Alicia, I don't believe that there's been one single reason for the chaos that we are seeing in the streets of LA at this immediate time. I certainly, if I was in charge, I would not have federalized the National Guard. I would have allowed the LA Police Department, I believe, to try to handle the situation. Those people are trained. The National Guard is not trained for urban warfare. The LA Police Department has handled many of these incidents, but I don't think we can blame it on any one given scenario there. These are people who have been hell-bent on having their beliefs carried out here in LA, and they don't give a damn whether they burn the city down as long as whatever they believe in is out there in the open.
Yeah, this is kind of off topic or not really aligned with what my channel is about. But again, I just know California is where, I mean, it is the tech hub. So just seeing this much of craziness that's going on over there is just wild to me. I'm not trying to get political or anything like that. I'm not trying to make this into a personal thing, but I find it crazy that people came to this country illegally, right? I find it crazy that you come here illegally and you're demanding U.S. citizen rights. That's wild. That's crazy to think. If I were to go to another country and I'm demanding the same rights as the citizens, but I came there illegally, like it's insane how people think this way. It's wild.
And Ted, in addition to the National Guard, I can tell you that U.S. Northern Command put out a statement earlier regarding the protection of federal property and personnel in Los Angeles, because we did see earlier that there were officers in front of the federal building in downtown Los Angeles, and they were trying to protect that. And in the statement, U.S. Northcom said at this time there are approximately 300 members of the California Army National Guard 79th Infantry.
Man, they burn their cars on the road. I mean, come on, this is...
Brigade combat team deployed at some of the locations, various locations in Los Angeles, but additionally, approximately 500 Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines at 29 Palms, California, they are prepared to deploy status, should that be necessary, and augment the support that the DoD's protection of federal property and personal effects. Now, Ted, we do know that Governor Gavin Newsom's office sent a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth earlier saying that the national troops were not needed, that to call them off, that they were making things worse. And is it in your mind that they could make it worse?
Man, they're fighting the police. They're burning cars on the road. I mean, you're just, like, you are not helping the situation whatsoever. You know, you are demanding rights and, you know, respect. But then again, you're burning cars on the road in their country. Again, a lot of these people here illegally, and you're doing this type of chaos in someone else's country. It's wild how people just think this way. It's crazy.
Worse, I'm just trying to understand here.
It's crazy.
I do believe, unfortunately, that could make the matters worse. First of all, we have never on our soil in America had Marines deployed in any city.
I think Cali's a blue state, right? I think it's a blue state. Because you won't find this kind of stuff happening here in Florida. Not happening in Florida, a red state. Yeah.
You have, as we know, National Guard, we have local law enforcement, and we have state law enforcement officers. When you look at what's going on out in California at this immediate time, you have a lot of rebel rousers out there. But the LA Police Department, I believe, can control this. We do not need, I believe, Marines coming into a city and being deployed.
So, Ted, I'm just listening to what you're saying, because that is the point that the administration of Gavin Newsom is making, that they can handle this. You did bring up urban warfare. That's what this looks like. And also, at the same time, watching the police
they're fighting the police
officers there, and I don't know if those,
like, they're waving foreign flags, right? They're waving. It's so weird. Listen, it's crazy how people, right, are waving flags in another country, and they're waving their country's flag that they don't want to live in. I don't get it. I do not get it. How do you wave the country's flag that you don't want to live in?
are also members of the military, but they do look like they're struggling. It looks to be kind of tough, and maybe
look, it'll make more sense for you to wave an American flag. Like, you want to live here, so wave their flag, right? That makes sense to me. Wave the country's flag that you want to reside in, not wave the country's flag that you don't want to live in. How does that work?
To the average eye, this doesn't look like they have things under control there.
You know, Alicia, they may very well not have everything under control at this immediate time, because what you're seeing out on the streets right now are primarily state police officers, and you're seeing LA Police Department police officers. And they have a contingency of their force out there. They don't have the complete force out there. But I do believe over a period of time that the LA Police Department, pursuant to the training that they've received through the years of dealing with demonstrations, can bring these demonstrations under control.
Is that the American flag?
If given the tools that they need and the green light to go in and make arrests.
You know, the Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass also in her news conference said that she is calling on all Angelenos to continue expressing, quote, your right, your anger, your outrage, but to do it peacefully. It doesn't appear that that message is being heard at this time.
You see what I mean? You're disrespecting the country's flag that you want to live in. How do you... The dude is literally banging the American flag on the ground. The country that he wants to live in, he's disrespecting their flag and waving basically his flag of his country that he doesn't want to live in. Make it make sense.
And And
make it make sense.
Ted, I just can't help thinking about the folks who live in this area, the business owners who are also located here. And then I think back to 2020 and the George Floyd protests that we saw and the destruction of property, the vandalization of businesses, and the fact that there are still so many cities, quite frankly, still reeling from the damage and the unsafe nature that they still feel from those protests. And then here we have this happening right now. It's just difficult, you know?
It's very difficult because if you look at your television screen, you see rioters out in the street of LA, but that is only a small.
Like I said, it's crazy that this is happening in California. I mean, this is nothing new, obviously, but
fraction of that community. The majority of that community, they're at home watching their television, watching these rioters, and hoping that they don't come to their communities. And quite naturally, what you just said, Alicia, about the businessmen, those businessmen are hoping that the law enforcement officers can bring this and continue to get this matter under control so that their businesses can survive. And that is the unfortunate thing about these riots, is that these businesses are the ones who take the bulk of what is going on in these various communities.
Like I said, literally, some of these people are here illegally and they want U.S. citizen rights. They're not even supposed to be here in the first place. That's number one. Yo, any country does this, right? Look, I'm not trying to get political here, but almost any country, even Haiti, if you enter the country illegally, they're going to send you back. Every country does this. Every country does this. If you enter illegally, you basically broke the law. You know, you broke their law, and it's unacceptable. They don't want you here. U.S. is no different. If you come here illegally, you're going. They don't want you here. They don't want illegals here. Literally, literally.
And just to remind folks, to kind of bring folks up to date here, the reason all of this started is because a few days ago, we had ICE officers go into Paramount, California, in the Los Angeles area. They were there for ICE raids, a series of them. And when that happened, there were people in the community who then rejected this premise, and they decided to protest. It has been growing for 3 days now. And President Trump spoke with Governor Gavin Newsom on Friday and let him know, and in his mind as the president, that this needed to be shut down.
All right, so I think you got the picture with this video. Again, just want to show this information or this piece of content of California, the tech hub of this country, is going through this chaos right now with the immigration situation with ICE and all that. It's crazy in LA right now. It's insane, but the good old tech hub is going through a crazy nonsense with its immigration or ICE issues, but whatever. All right, much love to you. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to check out my email newsletter. It's on my website. It's at juicytech.com, juicytech.com. I'll leave the link of the website in the box below. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on IG, TikTok. I post on these platforms daily. Feel free to connect with me on those platforms if you want to. And again, all the information that you need to know about this channel is in the description box below down there, and you're all set. Peace out. Thanks for watching. And yeah, catch you on the next one.